Hello, thank you for joining me. My name is dana.scheider for those of you who don't know me, and this is the introduction to Capitolo 1 in my course Italian for Beginners. If you've been following the course up to this point, you'll see that Capitolo 1 is where we really roll up our sleeves and get into the meat of learning the Italian language. This is a bit of a departure from the presentation style in the Capitolo Preliminare, where you were mostly learning phrases and memorizing them by rote. Because of this change, there are a couple points I want to touch on before just going ahead and presenting the new material. Specifically, I'm going to say a few things about course materials, what to expect when you're learning a new language, and lastly, practice approaches. So first off, we're getting to a point in the course where a good Italian-English dictionary may be useful to you. I recommend the Collins and Oxford dictionaries for print dictionaries. The Collins dictionary is also online at dictionary.reverso.net, and they also have a great app for iPhone, so if you have an iPhone, it's kind of expensive, but it might be worth taking a look at. I'd like to offer a caveat about dictionary use, and that is that you should think of your dictionary not as a dictionary, but as a bilingual thesaurus. What I mean is, if you look up a word in a thesaurus, you'll have a range of synonyms. Some of these synonyms will be completely interchangeable with the word you're looking up. Some will have very similar but not exact meanings, and others will only correspond to very specific ways of using the word you looked up. That's how your bilingual dictionary is too. Some words will be exact equivalents, no problem, but others are going to require some judgment to interpret. Because of this, I really recommend that you limit the amount of English to Italian translation that you do with your dictionary, since you aren't familiar enough with Italian to make good judgment calls on this kind of thing. Another resource you may find helpful at this point is the supplementary textbook material. There are workbooks, a lab manual, a DVD, and I think an audio CD that go with Prego that will be great sources for additional exercises and stuff like that. Other than that, I would encourage you not to buy other books about Italian, like verb books, for instance, because they aren't necessary and in many ways can make learning Italian harder than it has to be. I'd be happy to elaborate on that if you message me or ask about it in the comments. I know it might be hard to understand that if you haven't really been through the language learning process before. The second thing I'd like to mention is expectations for learning a foreign language. I'm not going to lie, folks, learning a foreign language is hard. Italian is really different from English grammatically. It has really different usage, and there are also cultural customs embedded in the language that you'll need to learn. An example of this is the formal and casual conversation distinction that we've mentioned a few times in this course already. So this isn't a matter of just memorizing vocabulary. You're actually going to be learning whole new structures here. You're not going to be proficient with them right away. You will get frustrated, and there are going to be times where you feel really stupid. I'm bringing this up just so you know what to expect, because these things that I described are totally normal parts of the learning process. So if you start thinking that you're hopeless at this, or you're just not getting it, chances are you just need to step away for a little, catch your breath, and then come back to it and keep plugging away. If you do that and you're still having trouble, please go ahead and ask questions in the comments, message me privately, or set up a tutoring session. Most people are totally capable of learning a new language, but it is a process and it is definitely frustrating sometimes. Lastly, I want to remind you how important it is to practice your Italian regularly. At the beginning of this course, I recommended going through it with a friend or partner. That goes double now, so if you haven't been working with someone, I encourage you to try to find somebody to practice with as you move forward. If you can't find somebody to practice with, or you'd rather work through the course alone, conversation practice is part of the tutoring I provide, and I can do that either in person or over Skype. The syllabus for this chapter is in the video description here, so do take a look at that before moving on. Congratulations for getting through the Capitolo Preliminare. Let me know if there's anything you need help with. I do take video requests. And good luck with Capitolo 1.